Hey guys, welcome to Natalie Clarice YouTube channel, the educational channel for all things love, dating, and relationships, where I help women understand how men think and what real men want. Whether you're navigating the dating scene, working on self-love, or looking to establish healthy, meaningful connections, you're definitely at the right place. I share respectable dating advice, winning dating advice, result-driven dating advice. Ain't that right, honey?
That's for sure, honey.
You hear it there, right? That's for sure. That's my husband in the background. Nevertheless, guys, welcome back. I'm so glad to have you here. If you are returning, welcome back. If you're new here, so glad to have you. Now, today we're doing things a little bit different, okay? I just decided to turn the camera on while I make my Friday night dinner, okay? So we'll just have a little chit chat as I'm cooking my dinner, okay? And it's not that I'm really making anything big, but I had a taste for these dumplings. Let me show y'all. Oh my God. So I buy these dumplings from Trader Joe's, okay? It's two that I buy. It's the chicken flavor and the pork flavor. So tonight I'm going to do the chicken flavor, okay? Nevertheless, now, when I finish these dumplings, I dress it up with all of this. The chili chips, the salsa, and then the Japanese barbecue sauce. When I tell you, absolutely delicious, all right? So while I'm cooking, we're going to be chatting, okay? So that's what we're going to do, all right? Cook and chit chat. However, so we're going to talk about marriage, all right? Because I get a lot of people asking me about marriage and how were you able to make it to marriage so long? How were you able to have over a 20-year marriage? You know, I get that question all the time. For me, marriage is not as difficult as people try to pretend it to be, okay? I'm serious. I mean, I don't find marriage difficult. Like, you know, you hear people saying, oh my God, marriage is hard. Oh my God, you definitely, girl, when it comes to marriage, marriage is real hard. You really got to work at it. I'm sorry, but I can't relate to that. You know, it's just about respect. I mean, that's how I see marriage. It's just about respect, all right? Long as you all are respecting each other, there's nothing hard about it, okay? It's about having clear communication. If something is not making you happy, honey, we need to have a seat and talk about some things. I'm not happy. You understand what I'm trying to say? This is not making me feel good. When you do this or you do that, that makes me unhappy, okay? It's just about having clear communication and making sure respect is in the relationship. If you do not have respect in your relationship, of course, your relationship is going to be hard. It's going to be difficult. You're going to be unhappy. It's not going to be rewarding, okay? Because you cannot have a disrespectful marriage. You cannot have a marriage when you guys are not communicating when things are not right. Am I right, honey?
For sure. For
sure, right? You just can't do that, all right? So, again, when I hear people talking about marriage is hard, marriage is not hard if you ask me. Like I said, as long as you got respect in the relationship and long as you have clear communication, all right? Period, all right? Those are the two things that is a must be in your marriage. Without that, you have nothing. Also, you must learn how to choose wisely, all right? Every man you meet is not marriage material, period. You can't just because you're dating the guy and he says something sweet to your ears, okay? Oh my God, this is my husband. Every man is not ready for marriage. You understand? I've said this before in my commentary. If you're dating a guy and he's causing you problems in the dating scene, why would you marry him? He's going to cause you bigger problems in the marriage. That's just how it go, okay? So if you're getting married thinking that, oh, when we get married, things will change. It'll get better. You know, once we get married, you know, things will change. No. That's not going to change when you get married, okay? Because if he is behaving like that while you guys are dating, oh my God, you're in for a disaster when you all get married, all right? So again, don't look at marriage, like I said in one of my commentaries, marriage is not a repair shop, okay? Whatever is going on in your marriage during the dating scene, okay, getting married is not going to repair it. And I think I said that backwards. Whatever is going on in your relationship in the dating scene, getting married is not going to repair it, all right? All it's going to do is give him permission to get worse. Because again, you've already okayed his bad behavior by marrying him. You don't marry a man when they are causing you problems in the dating scene, okay? And like I've said before, everybody is not meant for marriage, all right? Marriage is for a certain caliber of a person. That's man and woman, all right? Marriage is for a certain caliber of woman and a certain caliber of a man, all right? Believe it or not, many people are not bred for marriage, all right? They're bred to be fun girls or placeholders. Ooh, right? I know that's ugly, right? But it's the truth. Everybody is not marriage material, you understand? And like I've said before, most people who respect marriage do not play with marriage, okay? They are not going to marry you if they don't feel that you're marriage material. They're just not, whether that's a man or whether that's a woman, you understand? But also, I know many women have made a mistake and married the wrong people, and then when they get in that marriage, they're looking at marriage as a horror story. But like I've said before, it's not the marriage, it's the person that you chose to marry, okay? Marriage has nothing to do with it, because like I said, marriage is a beautiful thing, especially when you have the right partner, okay? It is a beautiful thing, okay? Like I've said before, I wouldn't trade marriage for nothing. You understand? I love coming home to my husband. My husband loves coming home to me. Am I right, honey? You laughing? You laughing?
Yeah, honey. You know I do. I said I wouldn't have stuck around this long if I didn't.
Anyway, okay? So like I said, I love marriage, okay? And, you know, of course, my husband loved marriage because, trust me, he's a New Yorker, okay? And believe me, he would not have stuck around if marriage was not. But, you know, first of all, my husband not phony like that. My husband is the type of dude, he would not have even got married, okay? My husband is a straight shooter, no nonsense, ain't got time for it. My husband ain't just marrying somebody just because, okay? He ain't doing it anyway. But nevertheless, I'm just saying, if my husband was not happy, there's no way he would be with your girl for over 20-something years. And the same thing with me. If I was not happy, it is no way I would be with him over 20-something years. Absolutely not. But we really got a connection going on. You know, me and my husband is like Bonnie and Clyde. You know, that's my best friend. That's my dog. Okay? So we're really, really, you know, best friends without a doubt. But nevertheless, you know, I just hear people, you know, have said, oh, marriage is hard. Marriage is difficult. Oh, no, I would never get. Marriage is none of that. You understand? Like I said, marriage is the most beautiful, sacred union you could ever be in with a guy. You understand what I'm trying to say? But you got to make sure that both of you are on the same page, all right? And you got to make sure that you are marrying a guy who really, really loves you, okay? And really, really puts you as priority and really, really understands that his actions can impact you all's relationship, okay? So you gotta make sure first and foremost that your guy really likes you, okay? And not more than anything, really love you, okay? You can't just be marrying a person because a dude just say something sweet in your ear or he just say something to you, because marriage is a very, very big step. You're with someone 24 hours a day, 365 days of the year, all right? So you really, really need to make sure that you and this person are on the same page, okay, when it comes to marriage. All right. So like I said, don't think that, you know, like I said, I don't know where half of you all come from. I don't know what your experience has been like. I don't know what environments you come from. I don't know what you've witnessed when it comes to relationships or marriage, things like that. But me been doing this thing for quite some time and who really, really got it down packed. Again, marriage is a beautiful thing and don't let no one tell you differently. All right. Like I said, Personally, I just feel as we all mature and we get older, it is nothing like coming home to your best friend. And that's just for real. You understand? I just personally don't see any excitement, okay, as we get older, coming home to an empty home. I just don't. You understand? But with that being said, ladies, you just need to learn how to choose wisely, okay? And if a man is causing you problems, okay, in the dating scene, all right, he's going to be that same man in the marriage, okay? When you're dating someone, that is for you to be able to take a look at him and see if he is marriage material. When a man is really serious about you, they are not going to jeopardize their relationship with you, okay? When you're in dating a person, all right, they're going to make sure that you feel safe with them. They're going to make sure that there's never no disrespect, okay? They're going to make sure that you feel that you could come to them if anything is bothering you or hurting you or maybe something he's did. They're going to make that space available for you that you can express yourself to them. You understand? So if you find yourself in a relationship and you realize anytime that you try to just express yourself to this person, it turns out to be a very big argument. That's not someone that you want to be with, okay? Because that's a person who is manipulating you. You understand? When a person cannot acknowledge their wrong, okay, or their wrongdoings to you, okay, they can't come down and just say, you know what, you're right and I'm wrong. I will make sure that this never happen again. When a person cannot acknowledge that, that's not a person that you want to settle down with, okay? Because your relationship is going to be a disaster. All right? When a person is dating you and you're in a situation where he's always cheating on you out there with other women, that's not a person that you marry, okay? First and foremost, if you're dating a guy and he's a cheater, the first thing you need to do is get rid of him. That's number one, all right? But if you're dating a guy and he's a cheater and every time he messes up, he's coming back to you on his knees. Oh, I'm so sorry. I would never do this again. And he keeps doing it. It's like a pattern, okay? It's nothing but a game to him, all right? Right now, you're a game because you keep accepting the bad behavior. I repeat, you don't marry serial cheaters, okay? You don't marry people who disrespects you verbally. You don't marry men who have really, really bad tempers and, you know, anything you say, they're like jumping down your throat. Or you don't marry a man who makes you feel uncomfortable to talk to him. In other words, you're literally walking on eggshells when you're around him. That's not who you marry. You don't marry men like that, all right? If anything, you release that man and enjoy being your single life. Because when you are in a relationship with a guy, okay, the goal is to be happy with your guy. You're supposed to be happy. You're supposed to enjoy your guy. You're supposed to enjoy each other, okay? You're not supposed to be dating a guy and unhappy and feeling some kind of way and feeling unsure. If he can't make you feel good in the dating scene, how in the hell is he gonna make you feel good in the marriage? He can't. So ladies, we just have to be, we just have to be smart. See, I'm up here running my mouth and look, about to literally burn my dumplings. Oh my God. 1 second, guys, 1 second. Oh, shoot. About to burn my dumplings, y'all. That is not cool. Oh my God, Roland. I would have been so pissed off, y'all just don't know. If I would have burnt my dumplings, I would have been pissed off. I'm coming, y'all. I'm coming. I did it. Okay, so listen. This is how it looks, all right? This is how it looks when they're done, all right? This is how it's going to look. Now, here's the magic. Here is the magic. All right, so now I'm going to dress these babies up, and you go see what they really, really look like. Who else like Chinese dumplings? Oh my God, I love dumplings. They are so good, so good. Now the first thing I'm gonna use, guys, is this soy sauce. Here we go. So what I do, I pour a little bit of this all over the dumplings. Okay, make sure each one get nice and wet. And then I use the crunchy chili chips, okay? This is the crunchy chili chips with onion, okay? This is so good. I got this from Trader Joe's, so good, all right? Also, I got the dumplings from Trader Joe's too, just so you know. And basically what I do with this, I scoop it out and I make sure all of them are nicely coated with the chili chips. This is like the magic here. This is like so good, y'all. This is like the magic, baby. Honey, you want some?
Nah, I'm good.
What you gonna eat, that chicken?
Make some chicken and some noodles.
Especially when you have a husband who like to cook. That's what top it off, okay? Because my husband loves to cook, all right? So then I have the Japanese barbecue sauce. And then what I do with this, I make sure I cover it, just like that, just cover it. This is gonna give it like a little sweet taste. People, if you try this recipe, I need you to tell me how you liked it, because it is so good. All right, this is, all right. What? It's, okay, here we go. And then this is a salsa that I use. And then what I do, I just stir it up a little bit, you know, because it's like a lot of juice at the top. So I stir it up to get all that juice from at the top. And then basically what I do, I put it all over my dumplings, just like that. And oh my God, it is so good. All right, so let me show y'all what it looks like. On Friday, this is what I do. I like to cook, well, little, if we're not going out, if me and my husband not going out, I like to do stuff like this. And then I'm gonna show y'all my crab rolls that I brought. Oh my God, delicious. But check it out. And this is how it looks. Don't that look good? When I tell you scrumptious, oh my God, my mouth is literally watering right now. And then what I do so that I could get all the flavor, I take one just like this. That is so good. Let me tell you, when y'all try that, it's like fireworks going up in your mouth. So good. But nevertheless, as I was saying, because a lot of you all have a perception about marriage, and I think a lot of you all's perception is all wrong, okay? You're associating the things that you've gone through with guys to marriage, okay? But like I said, it's not about the marriage, it's about your picker. Your picker is off, okay? And then because your picker is off, it has given you a bad taste about marriage, okay? Remember this, love feels good. When it hurts, it won't work. Love does not hurt. It's the person you chose to love hurts you, okay? It's not love, all right? So I wanna make sure I emphasize that, because like I said, many of you, the perception that you have about marriage is all wrong. And like I said, I'm not sure if it's from experiences. I know some people have had marriages and very bad marriages, and they have in their mind, oh my God, never again, okay? Or maybe you come from an environment where you saw very, very bad marriages and you think that that's what marriage looks like. It's not. It is absolutely not. That's not what marriage looks like, okay? So, like I said, when you choose your guy, okay, first of all, make sure you're choosing a good guy to just date, all right? We want to start there, okay? Make sure you're choosing a good guy to date, all right? And learn how to screen your prospects carefully. Learn how to screen your guy. You understand what I'm trying to say? Like I said, if you're jumping into relationships and you're not asking any questions, who jump into relationships and don't ask questions? How you get with a guy and don't ask questions? Okay, you gotta ask questions, all right? You don't just jump into dealing with a guy and you don't know where he come from. You don't know who his mama is. You don't know how many kids he got. You don't know what kind of work he do. You don't know nothing about him. All you know is that this dude texts you and want to see you. That's all you know. And you have this thing in your mind that if I ask too many questions, he go run away. If you ask questions and he run away, that is your sign to let you know he didn't want anything from Jump Street. Am I right, honey?
Oh, for sure.
Okay. If you ask questions with a dude and because you ask questions, he may say something to you, well, why you ask so many questions? Or he decides not to text you again because you're just trying to get to know who he is. That ain't what you want anyway, all right? He just in your life to waste time. He don't want anything serious with you, okay? He just trying to see what he can get from you without you asking any questions, all right? So remember, when a guy have a problem with you asking questions, that's because they're not looking for anything serious with you. They're just looking to have fun and see exactly what they can get from you without really getting to know you, all right? So if you are over a certain age and you are seeking a meaningful relationship with a guy, okay? The first thing you need to do is get to know that guy. Who are you? Where do you come from? What do you do? Have you ever been arrested? You know, things like that. Now, it's not that you're interrogating them. That's not the way you would present it because you're not interrogating them, but you're just having conversation, all right? And light conversation, but you got to know who this guy is, all right? You don't just entertain men and you can't ask questions. Where they do that at? When I met my husband, I had to find out, who are you? Where do you come from? All right? Yeah. It was no such thing that we just went on all these dates in the very beginning. Who are you? Where you from? Well, why you down here then? Do you have kids? How many brothers you got? So is your mom still living? Did you grow up with your mom and dad or just your mom? You know, I want to know who you are. A man who is serious about you or really serious about getting to know you, don't have a problem with that, okay? So if you meet a guy and he has a problem with that, what does that mean, honey?
He ain't the one for you. I say because most men, we ain't got nothing to hide, you know? I said, if you want to know me, just ask some questions, just like you said. Most men don't mind, if they secure about themselves, they don't mind you asking me questions. I said, but once again, it's how you ask these questions. I said, no man wants to be interrogated. And like I said, if I'm interested in you, I said, I ain't got nothing to hide because I'm gonna ask you questions too. And I want to know where you come from, what you do, and you know what I'm saying? I said, other than that, I said, that's how life is. You ask questions. You got to get to know your mate. And if you're really interested in that person, you're going to ask questions. And if they got problems answering no questions, then they ain't the one for you.
Absolutely, okay? And like I said, you need to be alarmed if you're talking to a guy and he don't ask you any questions. That's your sign, okay? No man who is serious about you is just not going to ask questions about you because they want to get to know you, all right? That's all a part of the getting to know you process, okay? Like I said, you're not interrogating them, okay? And you're not asking questions like a cop. What do you do? Where you come from? How many kids you have? No. What? So what? Have you ever been arrested? So no, that's not the way you conversate, okay? So if you don't know how to conversate, now we have a problem, for real, all right? That's not what you do. Your guy call you, oh, hi, hon, how are you? How was your day today? Oh, great, you know. Oh, and then he start talking to you. So tell me, I want to get to know you a little bit. So tell me, what do you do? What was your occupation? You know, ask questions in a way where it's, you know, friendly, where it's not intimidating. You understand what I'm trying to say? Ask questions in a way where it's conversational. You understand what I'm trying to say? You got to know how to conversate, all right? And if you don't know how to conversate, you're in for a very big disappointment, all right? Because conversation is the biggest piece of any relationship, especially in the beginning. You understand? And I know so many of you have gotten so into this texting thing that really and truly, a lot of y'all really don't know how to talk no more. You don't even know how to conversate. If you're not texting somebody or, you know, doing this, you really don't know how to have face-to-face conversation. And because you don't know how to have face-to-face conversation, you will never land a meaningful relationship with the person. Because like I've said before, you cannot establish any kind of relationship with texting. None. Not even a little bit. All right? Only thing you can establish with texting are hookups. All right? But you cannot establish real, genuine connections with texting. See, y'all done let this electronic stuff just take over, and it has ruined relationships. I mean, literally have ruined it. All right? Because if you cannot have a conversation with the person, genuinely have conversation, you in trouble. You are in trouble. Because that's how relationships are developed. By having really, really good conversation. Honey, can you turn it down, please? Honey. Thank you, honey. Now he done turned his little show up and I'm up here trying to talk to y'all. Where they do that at? See, that's like disrespectful, low-key. Honey, that's disrespectful, honey. You see me taping, right?
That ain't disrespectful. Like I said, I'm trying to watch my show. I'm trying to help you out.
Anyway, so like I said, you cannot have relationships by texting. Ladies, you gotta talk. And like I've said before, if you meet a guy and the only way that he wanna communicate with you is by texting, you politely tell him, listen, I'm not a texter. If you wanna get to know me, call me. I'm home every day after 6 o'clock, okay? Feel free to call me at any time, but I'm not a texter, okay? So I don't really, get into the texting thing when I'm trying to get to know a guy. Call me so that we can have conversation. And when that guy calls you, sound polite, sound like an intelligent woman, and sound like a fun person to talk to, okay? Because remember, when a guy calls you, he's gonna have his guards up a little bit because he's trying to feel you out, all right? And if you're a woman that, hello, and then you don't know what else to say after that, it's a turn off. And then guess what? Now he feels like, oh man, I ain't calling her no more, man. Forget that. Now he turned off, all right? You gotta know how to conversate. Hello, hey, how are you? Okay, yeah, see, I'm just telling you, I'm really not a texter. I prefer talking because in that way, I can hear your voice. We can really, understand each other without texting. So I'm happy that you did give me a call. But anyway, how was your day today? Make him feel comfortable to open up to you, all right? You gotta have that in place, all right? If you a chick that don't know how to talk when a guy call you, you waiting on him to say everything and he say something, you answer it with one question, with one answer. You don't know how to really elaborate on, what he's asking you. Like, for example, if he say, so tell me, where do you live? And you just say, New York. That's it. That's not conversating, okay? You got to know how to conversate. The dudes say, so where do you live? Oh, I live in New York. Yeah, I've lived here all my life. Or, I actually just moved to New York in 2022, but it has really been interesting. New York is a very fast-paced place. You know what I'm saying? It's like really trying to understand the city could be a little difficult from where I come from. Things are ran so differently here. No, learn how to conversate, all right? You gotta know how to conversate, because again, if you don't know how to conversate, you will never have a healthy, meaningful relationship, because men are going to withdraw from you because you don't know how to talk. All right? So like I said, you meet a guy and he starts texting you, text him back. Hey, I'm not a texter. Give me a call anytime after 6, all right? I would love for us to chat and get to know each other, all right? If that guy is interested in you, he's going to call you after 6 and get to know you, all right? If he's really not interested in you, you will never hear from him, all right? You will never hear from him, all right? Because he's really not interested, all right? But a guy who is really, really interested is going to call you. And this is how you weed out the bullshit. You understand? This is how you weed it out, all right? This is how you weed out who really is interested in getting to know me and who's really not interested in getting to know me, all right? So again, I just wanted to have this conversation while I made my little dumplings. And let me show y'all my sushi. This is called the butter crab roll sushi. I don't know if I've showed you all this before, but baby, look at that. This is full of crab, okay? And when I tell you this here, listen, all I can tell you, if you have a pork belly sushi restaurant in your neighborhood, I'm telling you to go try the butter crab rolls. I promise you, life is over after that. It is over. And this is the butter sauce that it comes with. Absolutely amazing, all right? So with that being said, guys, this has been amazing. I hope you guys have enjoyed this YouTube. I came a little different today. One thing about me, I'm kind of innovative. I like to do different things. I'm not a person that likes to just do the same thing all the time. I like to switch it up a little bit. So today, I switched it up because I was in the kitchen and I said, you know what? Let me turn this camera on and talk to my ladies a little bit. And guys, if you're on here, I'm talking to you too. I don't want you guys to think that I have this thing with y'all, because I don't. I don't know why y'all men be thinking that I be bashing y'all, because your girl is not bashing y'all. I'm helping my ladies, okay? I'm helping my ladies understand how men think and what real men want. And for those of you that will say, well, you're not a man, how can you help? Trust me, boo. Trust me. Trust me. Don't get it twisted. Just because I'm not a man, baby, don't think your girl is not super knowledgeable. Trust me, all right? I am 100% confident in everything that I tell you. 100%, not 98, not 99%, 100%, all right? You do it my way, you're going to have a healthy, meaningful relationship. But if you're comfortable with your way, do you, and go live your best life. And also, for those of you that continue with these failed pattern relationships, for those of you that don't have self-love, self-worth, self-esteem, lack confidence, for those of you who have experienced childhood trauma issues, you need to be signing up and enrolling in my coaching classes, okay? Whether you want to do private one-on-one or whether you want to do group coaching, you need to be signing up for my coaching classes, okay? The coaching class is going to deliver you from all of that, all right? It's going to be the beginning of a new beginning. So enrollment is now open. If you are seriously interested in revamping your self-esteem, your love life, your boundaries, your self-love, you need to be registering for my coaching classes, all right? With that being said, Nat Nation, have an amazing day. And this has been absolutely amazing. Be smart, day smart, choose wisely, Nat Nation. And remember, I told you. Bye.